This week, we're talking about the 4 keys that you can follow to go for more in your marriage.
Hi, we're Scott and Jenny Means, and we're here to talk more about the more for your marriage. Last time, we were talking about how, just like in my relationship with Jesus, there's always more. There's always more to get to know about Him and experience with Him and deeper intimacy. The same is true in my marriage. And just as it can get dull in my relationship with Jesus, I want to go after the more. I want to go after the more with my husband.
So today we're going to talk about 4 keys for finding more. More of what you're looking for. Passion, intimacy, whatever it is that you want more of in your marriage. We're going to talk about these 4 keys to helping you find more. The first one is to have a mindset of more. That means don't settle for less. Don't resign yourself to the status quo. Don't resign yourself to things just however they are. Go for more. Pray for more. Seek more. And that leads us to the second thing, which is?
The second key is pursue relentlessly. Mm-hmm. You know, I want to always be pursued.
It never stops, right?
No, I don't want it to stop. I love it when Scott pursues me, but I also need to pursue him. And in order to do that really well, I need that third key to open the door.
Watchfulness. So, your marriage is on one of 2 paths. It's either on the path of intimacy, growing together, or it's on a path of separation, growing apart. There's no middle ground. There's no status quo that just keeps you going down the road. By default, you will be on the path of separation. So you have to be proactive. You have to look for signs of separation. Look for things like silence. That's a good one. Look for signs of body language, tone. All kinds of things can show you signs that you're on the path of separation. Now, Jenny has better radar than I do about this, but still, you can be watchful and look out for signs of separation.
And this actually happened to us just 2 days ago. So we had a bit of a disconnect. Scott lost a little bit of patience with me, and I was also being a little bit extreme feelings about something, believe it or not. And there was a disconnect. And then we were apart most of the day, running errands, and he was at work. And when we came back together, Scott was the first one to say, "Hey, are we okay? Doesn't seem like we're okay." And I was like, "Not really." And I was so glad he brought it up, which is key number 4. Be willing to be the first person to reach out across this gap and search for a connect from your disconnect.
It's a little bit risky.
Yeah, because I wasn't ready
to be the one to go first.
and when he reached out, he basically, I wasn't super nice and cooperative. He basically said, "What do you need right now?"
So when she hesitated at first and maybe pushed back a little bit, I didn't just give up and walk away. I kept at it. I kept positive. I was affirming to her. I didn't, just make one attempt and then give up.
You were relentless. It was the relentless pursuit too.
I was relentlessly pursuing her and pursuing our reconnection. And so eventually she understood what I was after, and we got better. We got over it.
Yeah, he said, "Why don't you take some time and find out how you're feeling about this?"
Right.
And I didn't want to go off and take some time. I had this all worked out in my head.
And in her head, I was wrong.
We both needed to apologize.
We both had some
But when we came back, when I took that little bit of time that he suggested, when we came back again, I realized, you know what, this really isn't that big of a deal. It just triggered something in me, and, can we just take some time together? And we moved on together.
On a path of intimacy.
So that 4th key, I hope it didn't get lost in there, is be the first person to reach across.
Be willing to take the risk.
And you might be the one who feels like it's usually me, or maybe you're thinking it's always me that has to make things right first. Well, that's probably a personality thing. It's not a stubbornness. I tend to feel pain if we're apart and want it to make everything right as soon as possible. Mm-hmm. Not in that situation, but a lot of times. Yeah. And just be willing. It doesn't really matter who goes first. Just get back on that path of intimacy.
Exactly. So this week, Your assignment is to identify 3 things that you'd like to see more of in your marriage. Not necessarily big things, but 3 things that are important to you that you'd like to have more of. And then pick one, just one, and think of 3 little things you could do, not things your spouse could do, to move your marriage in that direction.
Then you have to be watchful and think about what they connect to, what they need.
right.
Not always thinking about yourself. So we're going to do this too, okay?
We're going to do this too.
That'll be great.
And we'll check in with you next week.